go through the fight card from Sunday. Revolution Elite Combat Championships presented Ring Warriors the New Era. Obviously, like I say, I've got all the results of the fights. I only can obviously talk about our fights in depth on this interview, and then obviously moving forward, we'll do another one where I can sort of talk about the other fights as well. So obviously, starting the junior fight card off was Ashton A-Star Stainer. Ashton's actually come over from Undisputed. He's moved to this area, so unfortunately he's had to move gyms, and it was really nice that Chris Bladen came over, his old coach. Ashton, I know we're really happy about that. He's gone through a bit of a rough time just recently. So for Ashton to make his debut on such a sort of, I feel, a big stage and a sellout show, and how he handled it and how he performed, but also listened, he boxed out his skin. An unbelievable performance for his debut against a kid that's already had fights as well. So hats off to Ashton. Got the win as well, which was brilliant, with a fantastic performance. Moving on to the second fight was Harry Captain Hook Flint. I've sort of trained Harry for quite a few years, even when he was a kid, and he's been running around bouncing off the walls and everything, and it was hard to control, Harry was. But then he's turned into this teenager. He's come back into the gym, calmed down loads. Him and Sam are really good friends, Sam Turner, and they've grown together, they've moulded together, they've pushed each other in the sparring, and we took Harry to for a skills bar sort of interclub a few months back, and we've seen how much Harry had come on. His movement, his footwork, and his movement, and his shot selection, and he's got these natural ability of throwing his own sort of made up combos, which he always finishes with a hook, and the hooks are doing damage, and it's a bit unorthodox how he puts these combinations together, but it works. So I've sort of worked alongside him, we've added little bits in, and Harry put an outstanding performance in, like I say, in front of a sold out 600 plus crowd, all his family, all his friends there. An absolutely unbelievable performance, and it's something that everyone dreams of, to start their career off with a debut like that. And he's out again this Saturday. I'm taking him to Derby because he wants to fight again, so he's going to have his second bout this Saturday at Derby. Third one was Riley Rocket Prudence. We've got him down as the Rocket, but I think he's also known as Redemption. Yeah, Riley, again, a little hard worker, comes in, he has one-to-ones, he's in the gym, he's absolutely obsessed with it. Movement's fantastic, shot selection great, bites down on his gum shield as well, and this kid loves to fight. So another fantastic debut in front of family and friends, and it's something, let's say, another one that he won't ever forget, I'm sure. Great performance. And then moving on to the next one was Tyler Tank Spencer. Tyler boxed on our last show on Ring Warriors New Era at the Civic Centre, but Tyler's under Gabriel, obviously our MMA and K1 coach, so we were looking for the K1 fight for him, and it was matched up against Logan Chadwick from JC's gym, so we knew this was going to be a very hard fight, a very well scored kid, going to be a battle of low kicks and all round striking, and Tyler sort of took it to him as much as he was getting, as much as he took the shots and took the low kicks himself. Then we got him checking, we got him countering. Tyler used a great range of ammunition of head kicks, knees, low kicks, and he dug in, his nose had gone, and then the other kid's nose had gone. This was a fight that he had to dig in and show heart as well as skill, and he did all of that. He did all of that, and then walked away with the win as well. So a fantastic performance by Tyler. Next up was Archie Thompson from Link Boxing Academy against Martin. Me and John, obviously, we worked closely together. We had to go over to the Fight Factory on the Saturday. So Archie had a skills bout against Martin on the Saturday. On the grounds we had the return and had the proper bout at ours on the Sunday. Unfortunately, Archie didn't get the result. I think Martin walked away with the result. So I need to watch that fight back, and then I can commentate on it. Then next up for Team Revolution was Sam Mickey One Punch Turner. Hats off to Sam. On the Friday and the Saturday, Sam fell ill with a bug. He'd not eaten anything or drank anything properly for like 48 hours. He came in for his photo shoot for the weigh-ins and stuff, and I thought he looked a bit pasty, and then his dad sort of rung me and said, look, Sam's not very well. So we said, let's see how he is by the morning. I was willing to pull the fight, was going to pull it. Sam basically came to the show and said, look, I want to fight, I feel better, I've had my breakfast, it's hydrated, I think we've got some electrolytes and dialytes down him. And I says, right, we'll start the fight. If we feel that it's not right and you're not going to be up for it all the way through and you're too ill and too weak, then we will pull it, we will pull the fight. But Sam being Sam, he dug in, and it was one of the potential fights of the night. It's the second fight they've had together, him and Ruben. So they had a rematch. The first fight Sam won, and that was close. This one was a toe-to-toe brawl for all 3 rounds. And it was given a draw, which 100% was the right decision. So I think further down the line they'll go again. I think there's talks about a potential title fight, either on their show or on our show. But Sam needs to get some more experience under his belt, because he's only had 2 fights now. So we'll get Sam more opponents and we'll build him up, and then potentially they're going to clash again somewhere down the line. But what an outstanding fight, and to show that sort of heart and determination, as when he'd been badly for 2 days before, is something he's very proud of, and I know his family are, and I am as a coach as well. It's a fantastic performance. Next up, we had Daisy Showtime Fisher against Bonnie. Both girls were very nervous. Daisy's always very nervous, bless her. 1,001 questions before the show, but that's Daisy. But we all believe in Daisy's ability. This girl has got Katie Taylor's ability in every area. This girl is absolutely unbelievable on everything she's done in the gym, the drills, the footwork, the hours and she puts in. She spars with all the lads, Carson, Ashton, Riley. She spars with all the lads. She only had around 4 to 5 weeks of head sparring, where she went from body only to, we knew she was good enough to strip the body armour off and have headshots, obviously wear the head guard, and she started sparring. The first lot of sparring, she was a little bit nervous, but then she literally took to it like a duck to water. And Daisy pulled out an unbelievable performance in front of family and friends, and I think it shocked a lot of people on the level she was at. And I think because her dad Matt comes in and he sees what she's doing in the ring and the drills that we're doing, the pad work, to then watch her then do that and perform in front of over 600 people. Even for myself, I was took back myself. She listens, and what an unbelievable future she's got for matchups down the line. She's going to go a long way, definitely. Next up, we had Carson, the Green Machine, Greenacre. A bit of a nightmare this one, because we took him over to Kurt's on the grounds we thought we was getting a return fight on the Sunday. The kid he was matched up against, their gym didn't know anything about the return, so we had another option, but the other option, this kid was too tall and too big and too heavy, a lot more experienced. So Sam from Inspire, because they were already coming over, they sent another kid over with them. He was a lot older, obviously a little bit heavier, just to do a skills bout. So he still got a run out. It was only a skills bout, but Carson showed his footwork, his durability, and also his skill set, which is, it's all part of building them as a product and as a fighter. Getting that ring experience, whether it's a skills bout or a proper bout, it stands them in good stead as moving along through the career. Next up was George Lee versus Hugh Coleman, another Link Boxing Academy against Iron Arms Boxing Gym. They brought a kid over. I think it was an evenly matched fight. I know Link Boxing Academy got the win. Like I say, I've got to go through these fights so we can see what happened in them fights. And then the main event, the Junior Thai Rules title. What an unbelievable fight. This was a 5-round fight of 2 girls that's fought each other before. This was Emily versus Shalimar, so it was Holton Thai Boxing Gym against JC's gym. This was a spectacle for the show, and all the feedback I've had, all the messages, everybody said, without a doubt, fight of the night. They had all the Thai music on, playing all the way through the fight. They did the dance before, the ritual and everything. The actual build-up to this fight is opened a lot more doors, because I've had more messages. People want to put more Thai fights on the show, and the crowd absolutely loved it. These were 2 14-year-old girls that literally locked horns and just went at it for 5 rounds. Emily walked away with the win and the belt. I've got a feeling these two girls will probably fight again down the line. There's going to be more matchups available now because of this fight. So keep your eyes peeled for this when it gets released on YouTube. I'll be tagging it, I'll be sharing it. Guys, this is definitely one of the fights for Revolution Elite Combat Championships and Ring Warriors New Era that will be on the highlight reel and the show reels to come. So that completes the junior card. We're next going to talk about the adult card. Like I say, fantastic junior card. The standard of these juniors, I've got to take my hat off to them. They work in the gym. I don't realise sometimes, I'm a little bit blinded by being in here. I've got OCD with sort of the striking and how I coach, and I'm a little bit blinded sometimes to the outside world where I question, am I doing the right thing? How I seen all my juniors perform on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, I was taken back, and it's literally took me sort of 2 days for it all to sink in and understand and appreciate the skill level they're at, but how they actually take all the coaching on board, and then to see them perform and how they do it. We know we're doing the right things, and Team Revolution smashed it out of the park for the juniors. So I can't thank you all enough, especially say everybody involved with the juniors, all the parents and all the sport. So that's the junior card completed, and I'll next move on to the adult card. Right guys, so moving on to the adult card for Ring Warriors New Era. The adult fight card started off with Jonathan Stoner from Ignite at Workshop against Demon Lee from Team Gypsy Kid. Stoner had not really trained properly again for this, but anyone who knows him and seen him from the last show, he is there just to wang and bang. So I think he had a great fight again. I know he won. I'm not sure if he. I think I come out and I seen him drop him a couple of times, but I think Stoner also got dropped early on in the fight. So it's a crowd pleaser, and he gives 100%. So it's great to see where you are on your sleeve, and also Art of the Lion. So he got a great win, I think, by the looks of it. Next up was Danny Nee against Aaron Cottam. Obviously John's trained Danny, he's got kickboxing experience, but it was his debut on ours, but he has got a lot of kickboxing experience. I think Danny put a performance of a lifestyle on, from what I've heard from John and everyone that was watching and the feedback. Aaron's a very, very good boxer, very tough, very durable. From what I know, Danny was switching and basically put on a boxing excellence. So that's going to be a very good fight to watch back. Keep your eyes peeled. Like I say, they'll be tagged and shared onto John's and Link Boxing Academy. So I'm looking forward to watching that performance by Danny. Next up was Jack Whitehouse versus Jack Slater. Jack Slater took the fight on short notice. Jack's going to be fighting for the flyweight belt in October. That's going to be obviously MMA. He took this fight on short notice. Jack sort of did it on 4 weeks as well, so they were both sort of on short notice. I think it was a very interesting fight from the start. There was back and forth. Jack had got quite a high guard, so he was taking a lot of shots on the gloves. I initially did think Jack had won. There's some been back and forth on social media as well. So I did think, like I say, at first, initially thought Jack Slater had won. There's been a lot of controversy on Facebook, what Jack Slater's put as well. Some of it's a little bit disrespectful, but he's young, he's up and coming, a lot of testosterone flying about. So I'm not sure what's going to happen down the line between these two, if Jack Whitehouse will come back or what, but potentially it might be a rematch down the line, even possibly MMA. I'm not sure. But what we have got to do, we've got to make sure we look after the promotion. The judging and the scoring is done very professionally. There's even been comments on the thing, they thought it was the right result because it was given a draw because there was a lot of shots taken on the gloves. I have got to watch it back separately from, other than watching it sort of sat in the corner. Like I say, initially I thought Jack Slater had won. I just think there's probably ways of condoning yourself as a fighter as well after the fight. But great result, great fight, should I say, and a lot of potential moving down the line for Jack Slater to build his and market himself as a fighter as well. Like I say, he's fighting for the flyweight belt in October, so I'm looking forward to seeing that, because I know he's going to put a great performance in, coming out with a great all-round striking abilities. Jack Whitehouse landed some unbelievable, nice, clean shots, which also Slater took and then came back with flurries. So it's going to be a good fight to watch back for the fight fans. Next up, Ben Goddard against Richard Tomlinson. Wow, what can I say about this? I've had the pleasure of knowing Ben for quite a few years anyway. My style, my type of fighter, very, very tough. What a guy. And it's weird to be on his movement. Me and Dan from Sabai, we both sort of helped coach him as well, so it's been nice that Ben's come to me and trusted me to work with his hands and a little bit of movement and stuff, and it's all fell into place, and Ben pulled off the finish of a career with a flying knee. But how he then also executed the finishing strikes was a very, very professional finish. How he did it in control of it, picking his shots, jumping knee, flying knee, picked his shots and another knee, and then finished Richard Tomlinson. Great performance, and he's won the K1 title for the middleweight, because obviously that was vacant at 80 kg, which Ben more than deserves for his what his lifetime of training and the fights he's had, the wars he's been in. I was very, very pleased for Ben to get that performance and also win the title. Next up, Dave Furness from Aaron Sellers. Like I say, that's another fight I've got to watch back. I've not seen. He's got Yaka's gym, I think, walked away with a victory. So I know that would have been a great little tear up, because obviously Team Agogo is a very good gym. Yaka's gym, I know they're going to be training very hard and is well coached. Next up was John's Matty Templeton against Josh Latnimer. Same again, obviously we've got to watch the results. I know Matty Templeton, Link Boxing's walked away with a victory with that one. And then next up for Team Revolution was Finley Turner. Finley's been out of the ring for a long time, but it's mad, he's only 19. But when other gyms come sparring to our gym, like I think I said in one of the other interviews, Finley steps in. He might have only been training once or twice that week, and he's like a seasoned professional. He can take anybody for rounds. He's got a very nice style, upright, tall, boxes a little bit like Tyson Fury. He's got the movement, the speed, and he's also got footwork. But Finley also hits very hard. It was up against Isaac Gibbs, and I think he stopped Isaac. Was it in the second round? I think, I'm not sure. Unbelievable support. All his friends, Finley had done over 50 tickets. Friends, family again. They all took him outside, picking him up, tossing him, chucking water all over him. And to see that sort of spectacle for me, and see the love for what he'd done, and also having the layoff. Isaac Gibbs had over 100 fights. I've seen on his Facebook this morning, he's got all the belts he's won and stuff. I think that's Finley's 4th or 5th fight. So to come out of when he's had such a long layoff and put performance on like that, his boxing ability for me is very good. And like I say, that also is credit to the lads in this gym, the training, the coaches that build them up, and also give them the confidence to sort of do the stuff that he was trying in the ring. The ability he's got, and his boxing skill set was great to watch. Next up was Dylan Hart from Knots MMA against it's down as Nick Bethel, but it's changed. He ended up fighting Hayden Sheriff. We had a bit of a 48-hour headache with pullouts as usual. So his original opponent pulled out. We had another guy step in, Nick Bethel, but then we actually went. We thought Nick was too short, so we went for the Hayden Sheriff. He was a lot taller fighter, a lot better skilled in boxing, K1 and MMA, because he's competed all over the UK. And it was a great fight. I know Dylan got the stoppage with leg kicks. He blew Hayden's leg clean out. He got a massive welt on his quad and at the side of his knee. But up until that point, Hayden landed some nice clean shots on it, and it was a competitive bout. And then Dylan sort of stepped it up a bit. He got his range, started landing that low leg kick, and he blew his leg out. Then next up for Team Revolution was Bailey Bad Boy Brassington against Sean O'Reilly. Sean came with Aaron Cotton, all on Facebook, dead confident, saying he was coming to take Bailey's belt. Bailey put on a clinic again. The bad boy literally put on a clinic. The shots his shot selection, the body shots, he schooled Sean. But fair play to Sean. he covered up where he was hurt. He kept moving forward. But Bailey put on a clinic, and it was a great performance yet again by Bailey. And then, like I say, I thought I matched him hard again, and Sean were all up for it, but it was Bailey was sort of levels above. Next up, Mark the Machine Miles, co-main event for the super middleweight boxing title for the New Era against Joe Broadley. I was slightly worried for this fight. Like I've said for the last 2 fights, I've said I thought this was going to be Mark's biggest test to date. I don't know. Mark keeps shocking me each time. I keep testing him, and I genuinely thought Joe Broadley was going to win the first 2 to 3 rounds. Mark can sometimes be a slow starter, and obviously we all know the machine is good for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds. This was a 6-round fight. I think Mark stopped him in the 3rd. I think it was the 3rd. I think Mark stopped him. It's the first time I've seen Mark start the fight and be in control of his distance, be switched on, and his hand speed and counter punching was at its best yet. Mark's been very active this year, and it's shown on Sunday night. He amazes me every time, because I was slightly worried for the explosion of Joe Broadley on his combination and his shot selections. I thought Mark was going to get caught down the pipe, but we made a small adjustment. I literally tidied Mark's hands up on the week before, which I knew which way we needed to move him to get the counters and all the little step backs for the adjustments for the counter punching. Mark did it straight off the bat. Joe didn't know what to do. He had one explosion in round 2, took one deep breath, and Mark was on him like a rash, and he hurt him. And if anybody watches Mark's fights, it looks like he's not even getting out of second gear. Until you sit ringside and you hear them thuds when Mark hits you, it doesn't look like he's trying. I'll say now to anybody on this camera, come and spar with Mark for 4 rounds, and you'll realise then why people keep dropping to the floor, because it doesn't look like he's trying, but when he hits you, it's like getting hit with a 20-pound lump hammer. It's not very nice, and then body shots hurt, trust me. So another great performance by Mark. Joe said he wants a rematch because he said he weren't feeling great, he'd not trained properly for the fight. It might happen down the line, but I can guarantee that it'll be the same result, to be honest with you. The main event was well worthy of a main event. Aaron Prudence against Brendan Morley from SF Gym. Sean White brought him. Hats off to both these guys. Wow. Main event, great support for Aaron as well. An unbelievable 5-round title fight. Aaron was up for his for the belt. He's never fought for a belt before, so it was for the light heavyweight New Era belt. What a performance. Aaron started fast, Aaron started explosive. Unbelievable how durable Brendan Morley is, and a keep coming forward fighter. It reminds me of Mark Miles 2 years ago. This guy is super fit. In another 2 years, this guy is going to be a carbon copy of Mark Miles. Aaron Prudence put on a performance of a lifetime, showing guts, true heart, but also the shots he was landing. Aaron hits very hard, so that's temperament to Brendan Morley, because he took them shots and he still kept coming. He wobbled him a few times, but Aaron got caught at the end of round 3, and we thought he was gone. He got caught with a clean shot, his legs had gone, but we managed to bring him round. Went out for round 4, worked on his jab, exit right, and he managed to sort of get through that round and also win it in my eyes. I know Brendan's coaches also agreed. They was happy with the result. Round 5, Brendan come on and won round 5, but Aaron was already ahead on the scorecards on all the rounds. What a fight though, like I say, on both sides. Brendan was a true warrior, keep coming forward. Aaron got caught, his legs had gone, it took him a bit to sort of come back round and recover. Then he recovered, boxed on the back foot, and then say round 5 was just about surviving, so we knew we'd won the fight. So hats off to both these guys. Truly a main event fight, which was great for the New Era. Like I say, the whole fight card from top to bottom. If you've not been to one of our shows before, come to the shows. The people that were there that's not been before, the feedback I get, it takes me a few days, like I say, for it to sink in. It makes me very emotional. It makes me very humble. And then when I see the work ethic we all put in here to put on that sort of show, and to watch the juniors to the adults put them sort of performances in, when I'm testing guys and I'm testing the girls, I'm making 50-50 fights. I'm sometimes with your Mark and Bailey, I thought the fights were in the other corner's favour. But I trust in the process, I trust in my fighters, and I trust in the work ethic. And I know 100% when I'm stood in that corner with these guys that they've got hearts of a lion. And I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of what we've built. The show's getting bigger and better each time, and there's more to come. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. Thanks ever so much for your support. Give it a like I say, follow MMA Fight Night, all the fights, the interviews and everything's posted on there. Revolution Gym, Revolution Elite Combat Championships, and obviously myself, Neil Huntley, and everybody will be tagged on there and on the fights in the future to come. So I'll see you all soon.